Hello everyone, it's Davinder from Insta Ing. This video is on types of dependent clauses. There are three main types of dependent clauses: noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. Let's take an example to brush up on the concept of clauses. To be called as a clause, a group of words must meet three conditions. He climbed the tree. So the sentence has a subject, he, has a finite verb, climbed, and does make some sense. It meets all the three conditions of being a clause. Therefore, we can confidently classify this sentence as a clause. Remember, there are two main types of clauses: independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause can stand by itself for its meaning and doesn't rely on any other clause for its completeness, while the dependent clause relies on the independent clause for its completeness and context. Another very pertinent point of dependent clause is that it adds details or modifies the independent clause. Let's start with our today's lesson. The dependent clause can be further classified into three: noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. Let's break it down to make it clearer. Whenever you get a sentence, first of all, you need to find the independent and the dependent clause. To identify the dependent clause, look out for the subordinate conjunctions like which, when, where, etc. Once you have successfully located the dependent clause within a sentence, your next step is to determine its particular type, whether it functions as noun, adjective or adverb clause. There's an easy trick to find out which type of clause is the dependent clause. If the dependent clause answers what of the independent clause, it is a noun clause. If it answers which or who or whose, then it's an adjective clause. And if it answers any other like where, when, how, reason, it's an adverb clause. Let's understand this concept with some examples. He said that he was in pain. First of all, locate the independent clause. And read out, he said. The question to it is, what did he say? That he was in pain. If the dependent clause answers to what of the independent clause, it is a noun clause. For example, I know what? I know that she holds a secret. I know, what do you know? She is clever. So, if the dependent clause answers what of the independent clause, then it's a noun clause. Let's take another example. The mystery is, who stole the treasure map? Who stole the treasure map is the dependent clause. Now, which type it is? The dependent clause adds information about what the mystery is. The mystery is who stole the treasure map. Hence, it's a noun clause. Whether the match will be held tomorrow is uncertain. Whether the match will be held is the dependent clause. It starts with a subordinate conjunction, whether. It answers what is uncertain. So, it's a noun clause. The house that has a blue door is for sale. The house is for sale is an independent clause. That has a blue door is the dependent clause. The house is for sale. Which house? So the question arises, which? It's an adjective clause. If the dependent clause answers which or who, it's an adjective clause. The school where I studied is now closed. The school is now closed is the independent clause, and the dependent clause is where I studied. The school is now closed. Which school is now closed? Where I studied. So it is an adjective clause. The book which was kept on the table had a beautiful picture on the first page. The book had a beautiful picture on the first page. Which book? which was kept on the table. It gives an answer to which book, so it's an adjective clause. After the rain stopped, we went for jogging. After is a subordinate conjunction, so it is the dependent. We went for jogging is the independent clause. And when did we go for jogging? After the rain stopped. So it answers the question when. When did they go for jogging? So it is an adverb clause. She didn't attend the school as she was ill. As gives an idea of dependent clause, as she was ill. If the dependent clause answers why, when, how, or any reason except which, who, what, then it's an adverb clause. It is giving the reason of why she didn't go to school as she was ill. Since he was tired, he decided to take a nap. He decided to take a nap is the independent clause. And why did he want to take a nap? Since he was tired. So it gives a reason of why he wanted to take a nap. It is an adverb clause as the dependent clause answers about why. To understand the basics of clauses and its main types, you can watch my video. The link is given below.